Attention terrorists, hold on. Here's Tara's Daily Rant.
We had a stunning stat today, boggled my mind, about the ongoing civil war. And this civil war, unlike any we've ever fought before, this is a cultural civil war, and the chief weapon used in it is the U-Haul. That's your battle brigade right there, your U-Haul. People are just packing up and leaving. They can't take it. New stat. There are now more people working for the first time ever. It's never happened before. In Florida, that's the number one destination, than in New York. But who is moving? This scares a lot of you. We were talking about this earlier on the show. My husband's been saying to me for a long time, he's been arguing. I'm like, well, I don't know. And it turns out he's right. He said, this is us moving. These are all our people, the normals. People who are still, want to cling to recognizably American culture. They want to be American. They lean right. Okay. New study out of Florida. This is fascinating to me. Of the 1.1 million people that have moved to Florida since Ron DeSantis took office, care to guess how many of them registered Democrat? Because they can reference it with the voter registrations. 1.1 million. What do you think? Just 17,000. So when Ron DeSantis says, leave your politics with you, if you voted for that left-wing garbage, don't bring it here. They're not. Half registered Republican, the rest independent, and then that 17,000 Democrat. So it's very few Democrats bringing that trash with them, at least not at this point. So they're still clinging to their post-American territories for now. Hard to say how long that will last, though. Did you see this over the weekend? This shows you kind of where we are, and it is literally shocking. It's a new study. Violence in some of these blue city neighborhoods, significantly higher. Young men at significantly greater risk than U.S. troops faced in Iraq and Afghanistan, full-on war zones. It's really amazing. It's absolutely amazing to see. So here's what they did. They looked in these blue areas. Okay, what's the most violent zip code? What has the highest violent crime, right? And then they compared it to Iraq and Afghanistan. This is for Chicago. Among men ages 18 to 29, the annual rate of firearm or homicides in Chicago zip code 60624, 1,277 per 100,000 people. That's double the death rate for U.S. troops in heavily engaged combat brigade in Iraq, 675 per 100,000. Yeah, but come on, Tara, you're just picking one violent zip code in Chicago. No. They kept going. Even when the researchers expanded their sample to include Chicago zip codes ranked in the top 10% of violence, young men still faced a greater risk of dying than soldiers in Iraq or Afghanistan. The study also looked at Philadelphia, New York, Los Angeles. Most violent zip codes in Philadelphia far surpass the risk of combat death by military service members, too. Okay, this stuff is spilling out. When you got Lori Lightfoot presiding over a Chicago in general, not just in those zip codes, but in general, 61% increase in violent crime in a single year. The arrest rate for crime has plummeted to 5%. What is this? This is the left adamantly demanding in their new culture, which is not recognizably American, if you are a Democrat voter or you are perceived to belong to a group that includes heavily Democrat voting propensities, the law cannot be applied to you.
Terrorists want it. Hear the Tara Show weekday mornings on 106.3 WORD and the Odyssey app.